Where'd you look? You thought I was gonna do a porno, didn't you? Perverts. No, I'm actually talking about eating disorders, and my hair is crazy. Oh. Eating disorders and my frustrations with all of that. So, as I said in my previous video, I was having a yummy snack of chocolate cake and whole milk, warm whole milk, and it was delicious. And, yeah, and so, anyway, I've been accused of eating disorders in the past, being anorexic or bulimic, which is ridiculous because I've always been a little bit tiny, you know, petite, whatever. Not super tall, and actually kind of short, in comparison to some people anyway. And I've always just been little, and that's genetics. My mom is the same way. I mean, like, she looked like a model when she was, you know, my age or younger. And so, you know, that's just how it is. I don't starve myself. I wouldn't make myself throw up because that is just gross. And I love to eat good food. So people might wonder, oh, well, how do you stay skinny, and how, you know, because those that are genuinely interested and are like accusing me of an eating disorder or something like that, you know, they're like, well, how do you stay so skinny and blah 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 blah. Well, most of it is genetics, but I'm a pretty active person. You know, I'm not really much into team sports and stuff, but I like to do active things like bodyboarding and, you know, running around at the beach and, you know, riding a bicycle and stuff like that. And that's really good exercise. And I'm not super consistent with it, and I'm not a gym rat. I hate that kind of stuff. You know, for the most part, I pretty much hate the gym. I'm not a gym person. I'm not a runner. I don't go out and run 5 miles in the morning. That, to me, is just like, why would you do that to yourself? It's just, like, you must hate yourself if you do that. Like, who does that? Weird people do that. Crazy people do that. I would run if my life depended on it, yes. But I don't go and run marathons. I hate that shit. I was in the military before, and I had to run. It was a requirement. I'd pretty much be kicked out of the military if I didn't pass the physical fitness test. And so I like to run sometimes, a little bit, but to run or run miles and miles at a time, no. You want me to run a marathon? I don't care if you pay me $1 million. I would not run a freaking 26-mile marathon in such and such amount of time like that. No, hell no. Maybe I would do it for charity, but I'd probably be in last place. I'm not a runner by any means. I can run if I need to, and believe me, I mean, like, when I started out at least. Later on I kind of lost my ambition or drive to do so, but when I started out in the military, I would, like, be up there with the really fast guys. I would, at least at the beginning of the run, whenever there was a run, not like I was passing everybody up and everything. But later on I kind of lost my ambition to, like, do all that. I was just like, oh, what the hell. running, whatever. I'm not a runner. Right, that's not my thing. And I'm not a gym rat. You know, the guys, like, working out at the gym, oh, look at me, I'm lifting 500 pounds, I'm so cool. You know, that to me, I just kind of, like, roll my eyes. It's pathetic. Or I see, like, these women, they're, like, you know, they look pretty overweight. Let's put it nicely. And yet they're just, you know, panting at these treadmills. I'm like, you're wasting your time. You know, I just want to, like, go up to them and say, honey, look, you're wasting your time doing that. That's not going to do anything for you. Because they, you know, they're like punishing themselves, trying to make up for, like, failing on their diets or whatever. I know, because I see this all the time. Someone complaining, oh, I ate a piece of chocolate cake yesterday, and so I screwed myself over, and blah blah blah. That sort of stuff pisses me off. I'm like, okay, on the one hand, I don't like it when women are like, I should embrace my inner fat girl and just like love myself the way I am, and they're overweight and obese and just sad, like they need to get themselves healthy. I don't like it when people encourage obesity and unhealthy living by saying, oh, you should just embrace yourself and whatever. That's not okay. But on the other hand, I don't like it when women are just like diet crazy and like, oh, I failed my diet because I ate something good yesterday. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, why do women do this shit to themselves? It's just torturous, vicious cycle I see all the time happening. And it just bothers me. And I guess maybe if I had a slower metabolism, maybe I would be a little more like thinking along their way of thinking, and maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm a hypocrite because I don't have to struggle as much, but I have had kids before. I have like packed on 40 pounds to have a baby. So it's not like I haven't been there. So, I know what it's like, and I know what it's like, not so much after I had my son, but after I had my daughter, I did have a little bit of that like body hate going on, like, oh my gosh, my hips, my thighs, and I'm like, my husband doesn't love me anymore, and I'm so fucking fat, and blah blah blah, So I've been there. It's not like I'm just, yeah, I said I'm a skinny bitch, but I haven't always been a skinny bitch. I have had periods where I have, usually I pack on pounds in the wintertime. That's when I may not, in comparison to other people, look fat, but I mean, in comparison to what I can wear in the summertime to what I can wear in the wintertime, there's a difference. I usually pack on 5 or 10 pounds on average in the wintertime season versus the summertime. The summertime is when I look the skinniest because I'm more active in the summertime. I'm outdoors, and because I'm an outdoors kind of person, when I have the opportunity to be outdoors and to do active things outdoors, that's when I end up, looking skinnier and looking, more fit or whatever. So, that, and just, like I said in the previous video, it's all about portion control. When you eat until you're not hungry anymore. Don't just push yourself to just eat and eat and eat, and don't eat your feelings. I know it's pretty cliche sounding, but seriously, don't eat your feelings. I know when I've been going through a hard time and like heartbreak and stuff, I was very tempted to just like go and, Haagen-Dazs every day, because I was going through a hard time. Though usually it's the opposite for me. I kind of like don't feel like eating when I feel like crap. I kind of like, I don't have any appetite, whatever. So I almost have to force myself to eat sometimes when I'm in the dumps, when I'm feeling sad or heartbroken or whatever, and just having a crappy day. I have to force myself to eat sometimes because, But there have been periods of time when I've gone through like some really serious, sad, horrible things, and so I've been like, oh, I need some Ben and Jerry's ASAP. Like, so I understand to a certain extent, but it's not healthy and it's not good to either deprive yourself of food or binge on food, because you're in a crappy emotional state. It's not healthy. And a lot of people are more, how would you put it? It's not as obvious, and they maybe won't even admit it to themselves, but a lot of people, they have a lot of like self-loathing because of, what's in the media or whatever, what's considered attractive. What's considered attractive is something very unhealthy. It's either, a beautiful, successful plus-size woman like Queen Latifah or the girl from Precious, or, something like that, And they're like, oh yeah, fat is beautiful, fat is good. Not if you have diabetes, it isn't. I think pretty much anybody on, like, kidney dialysis or, that's had a heart attack or something would tell you something completely different if their obesity was what contributed to all of those issues. I think they would have a very different story to tell. No. But on the flip side, then you have all the magazines with these skinny people, and them even photoshopping like regular kind of people to make them look even skinnier. Like someone that just had a baby and they're like trying to Photoshop all her baby fat away, so to speak. Like, that is just wrong, and it contributes to all these image and eating disorders in girls and women. And a lot of times I see it. It's not even the ones that are like skeleton skinny and going to rehab that have the problem. I see this with so many women that are like in step one of like of like the process of admitting that they have a problem, because a lot of them, they don't even see it as having a problem. That's just what society is all about these days, and so they don't even see it as a problem. Oh, I'm on such and such Atkins diet, or I'm doing this or that, and they are fine. They are not in need of a serious diet. I've seen, oh my gosh, like my sister-in-law, bless her heart, I love her to death, but she is like, because she has a little bit of belly pooch, and it's not even that bad, and she's not like a size, 3 or whatever anymore. Now she's like, oh, I'm fat, I need to go on a diet, and she's like skipping meals and stuff, and that is really worrisome, to me. Like, I love her to pieces, and I would hate for her to like get, crazy self-image, self-loathing kind of thing. And I think part of it, I feel bad because I feel like part of it is my fault, because she sees me being able to fit into certain kinds of clothes, easy, that she can't, or whatever, and so she just automatically thinks that, oh, I'm fat, oh, I need to be on a diet, and she is perfectly fine. She is not even anywhere near fat. She might have a little bit of extra belly pooch from pregnancy, but that's it. And so, I see her stressing about all of this, and it bothers me. I'm like, what can I do? Like, I feel bad because I'm naturally smaller, and even after having kids, I'm still, somewhat skinnier, at least in comparison to other people. But, or most people. But I'm in no way, I don't have her body type, I don't have her bone structure. I have a younger sister who had, like, some body image issues as well. Like, I see this with so many women. Like, I think even my mom, to a certain extent, at one point was like this. And it just pisses me off. Like, okay, on the one hand, don't think that obesity is okay or healthy, but on the other hand, don't be so self-loathing that you think you gotta get on a fucking diet because, because you're at a healthy weight, and maybe you have a little bit of belly pudge or whatever, and you think, oh my gosh, I'm so fat. Like, that bothers me. Why do women do this shit to themselves? Why? And I don't have the answer, but, except for society's perceptions and society's rules of whatever is healthy. And there's so much of this pushing of, like, healthy food and diet food, which really isn't that healthy. And really isn't going to contribute to a diet. It's just going to make people yo-yo diet. And this is what's being put out there. And this is what women are being told that's okay or that's healthy. Anyway, I'm going to make another video because this one's getting really long. But when I get on a roll and start talking about something and get like really passionate or frustrated about something, then I get really long-winded. But I'm going to make another video and finish up this topic. Okay, thank you, bye.